I said good evening. Okay. So what is the event about today again? Can someone remind me? What is the title of our event? Mental health awareness. Okay, anybody else? The exact title of our program today. So you just came because your friend came along, that's why? Okay? Mental health in an unequal world. So, since 1992, the World Health Organization recognized the 10th of October as World Mental Health Day. And this year's theme is mental health in an unequal world. What does this mean, mental health in an unequal world? Anyone? Abbas? Okay, stand up and we'd like to listen to you. Okay? Is there an extra mic here? Okay, I need someone to move around with the mic so that we have everyone's participation. Yeah, Abbas, take the mic. Hello.
It means that there are not fair judgments being made from the world where there's no equality and there are just people judging you for no rational reason.
Okay, very good. Okay, that's your understanding. Anyone else with a different opinion? What do you understand by this title? Mental health in an unequal world. Anyone from the ladies' side? Okay, the MC, Miss Ikra.
Thank you. Alright, so what I understand from that statement is that I'll give you an example. Today, if you go and see someone with a physical injury and someone who is suffering from depression, how do I say? The person with a physical injury will be given more importance to instead of the person with a mental health problem. Does that make sense? Alright. Why? Is it because it's more visible than the depression? That's it.
Okay, very good. Round of applause for both of them, Ikra and Abbas. Okay, so that was actually part of my talk. I'll give you an example. You go to someone and you have financial constraints. You're struggling in terms of your finance. You go to an individual, an affluent, wealthy person, and say, I need treatment because I want to go and get my chemotherapy. I'm suffering from cancer. There's a likelihood that that person will give you that finance. That person will say, yeah, go get yourself treated. It is my duty to assist you. Now go to that same individual and say, I am suffering from a mental illness. I'd like to visit a psychiatrist, but I don't have the financial aptitude. I don't have the capability. What will that person say? No, I don't think so. I won't give you that money, because in our society, people don't value mental health as much as they value physical health, as said by Iqra. Now, you gave me 15 minutes, right? So what you said and what Abbas said is what counted in my time, okay? Now, these are some statistics that I have gathered for you. Tanzania, our country is developing. It's a developing economy. And according to the World Bank, our country is now a lower middle income country. So we are progressing, we are evolving. And in terms of mental health, we have also evolved, but by how much? Now let's listen to these statistics. When it comes to mental health, we have 0.04 psychiatrists and 0.05 psychologists per 100,000 population. Furthermore, there are a total of 0.3 mental health workers, including psychologists, psychiatrists, nurses, etc., per 100,000 population. That means there's a huge disparity. You see this, right? So what do these statistics tell you? Startling statistics. What do they tell you? Anyone? Come on. When I said startling statistics, everyone was like, yeah, you're right, you're right. Now I'm asking you, what do you think these statistics indicate? Abbas? Okay, where's that mic? Okay, Sawa ma'am, I'll come to you. Abbas?
Yeah, there's a variation.
Mic, okay? You can give it to Mr. Abbas. So we only have two people, the speaker herself, Ms. Yana, and Abbas, nobody else. I need to engage everyone.
There's a variation between the people who are, let's say, medical and in other professions, and the people who are in psychology and raising mental health awareness, basically.
Okay, good. Now here I'm in the presence of Mr. Shabir Khalfan, so it's even making me a bit nervous because he's an expert when it comes to... No. So when I partook in the training on mental health first aid, there was one statistic that really shocked me. I'll ask you this question. In the entire world, which place has the highest suicide rate? Okay, India, okay, good guess. Anybody else? The United States, okay. Let me make it a bit more simple. Which area, which place? So let's say which particular place. So let's say someone can say New York, someone can say Mumbai. What do you think? Statistically, the highest suicide rate. Any guesses, anybody else? Abbas? You think it's Africa? Okay. Kenya, okay. The statistics tell us that the highest suicide rate in the world is in Kalenga, Tanzania. The highest suicide rate. So there's a place called Kalenga. It's the highest suicide rate in the world. So again, this is a concern. Now we need to do something about it. How many of you think we need to do something about it? Okay, so today is a step in the right direction. They organized this event, they're raising awareness. So a round of applause for the facilitators of this program. You have a question? Okay.
What's the rate? Just like you gave us, what's the rate of the suicide rate?
Okay, so they haven't really published a rate, but they have actually given statistics to show that it is the highest suicide rate in the world. I'll give that to you. Okay, I'll send it to you all. It's part of our mental health first aid training. Sawa. Okay, anybody else with a question? Someone doubts the statistic? Okay. Now, how many of you think we can do, what do you think we can do to solve this problem? Abbas? Raise awareness like today. Anybody else? So there's a quote from Helen Keller where she says, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. So we all have to work together. We have to work alongside one another. So again, we have trainings organized by Fikra Afia, Mental Health First Aid. So you can participate. You can visit orphanages and you can raise awareness about mental health there. Sometimes we visit orphanages, we just spend like 15 minutes, we donate and we leave. No, spend time with them, talk with them, communicate with them, spend time with them, educate them. Now, these are some solutions that I have proposed. Let's see if they work or not. Number one, these are local actions to reduce inequalities in mental illness. Because sometimes you have people with financial problems, or they belong to a particular gender, so they are not given that attention, or they may belong to a particular ethnicity, or race, or culture. Now, how do we solve disparities or mental health inequalities? Number one, understand the local population need. Understand what your country requires from you. So a lot of people go global. That okay, because they're doing this in the US, so we need to do it here in Tanzania. Now, what may work in the US may not necessarily work in Tanzania. Am I right? Yeah. Right? So you need to see what are the local needs. How do you raise awareness with people in Tanzania? So you can do something called Joint Strategic Needs Assessment, where you start analyzing the needs within your country. That's number one. What was number one? Forgotten, huh? There's only one person listening to my talk. Who is who? Guess. Oh yeah. Okay, so a needs assessment. Try and analyze what's going on here. That's number one. Number two, build stronger communities and social connections. So amongst ourselves today, we need to build that community where we don't judge each other. This is something very important. You have people today in society who claim, don't judge, be good, but they're the most judgmental people I know. So we need to have this. Okay, did someone say a name or something there? Okay, no names please, no judging. So we must not judge each other. You don't know what information someone has, so his opinion may be different. We don't know what a person has gone through in his life. So never judge another human being. Build stronger connections and be there for one another. That's number two. Number three, protect people from discrimination, abuse, and other adversity. So many people are attacked Because of what? Give me examples. Why would someone be discriminated against? Because of, example? Again, Abbas, okay? Race, okay? Anybody else? Surprisingly, the ladies have been very quiet. Normally in any conference that I attend, and they're the majority. Yes, Miss Fatima? Gender, okay? Gender. So statistics tell us that women are affected the most when it comes to mental health concerns. And it's because sometimes they're the most discriminated against. You have this problem. Okay, anybody else? Why would someone be discriminated against? Yes, Miss Diana? Age. Size. Okay. Race. Okay. Color. Okay, color, race. Thank you. Looks. You're focusing a lot on looks. Huh? You said first body, then you said looks. Huh? Financial status, yes, 100%. Now, does it mean that if someone is wealthy, they necessarily get medical attention or mental health treatment? Not necessarily. But the likelihood of them getting the attention is more than those with financial disparities. Because they'll be like, I have 100,000, I can spend it on a counseling session or I can buy food for my family. So what for them, the food is more important. So we need to find a way to reduce inequality. So I'll come to that. But you must protect people from discrimination. If in a community you see that there's a group of people who are being discriminated against, it is your duty to speak up. It is your duty to remove any form of discrimination or prejudice. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4, reduce substance and alcohol abuse. People who suffer from mental health problems, normally they resort to these measures. They resort to alcohol or drug abuse. So we need to find a way to reduce alcohol and substance abuse. Now government, they can also find ways. Example, they can impose taxes or they can ban. But of course, that's not a possibility. So what do we need to do? Raise awareness. We need to tell people that, look, if you're suffering from a mental health problem, alcohol and drugs is never a solution. In fact, it can worsen the problem. Temporarily, maybe, it can give you some relief. But in the long run, becomes a major concern, becomes a major problem. So that's number 4. Number 5, destigmatize mental health. What does this word mean, destigmatize? Anybody apart from Abbas? Now I need a lady to respond. I'll start picking. What does this word destigmatize mean? Okay, let me make the word in half. What does the word stigma mean? Yeah, pass the mic. Choose someone, Ikra. I give you the mandate to choose someone. Anybody? Yeah, huh? Okay, how about we ask Mr. Shabir the word stigma and destigmatize? Okay? A round of applause for Mr. Shabir Khalfan.
Well, it's a perception of, I would say I'm just trying to make it simple. It's a mark of disgrace. I would put it as mark of disgrace. So it's my perception that this is mark of disgrace. If I do this or this happens to me, it's too beneath me. It shouldn't happen to me. So that's stigma.
Okay. I think for the work that Mr. Shabir has done for mental health, we just need to give him a round of applause just for that, for the amount of work that he has done for mental health. I'm not happy. Come on, round of applause, please. Okay, so we need to destigmatize. D means what? Remove all the stigma associated with mental health. Someone comes, should be willing to say, I'm going to the psychiatrist to meet. I'm going to meet a psychiatrist. They shouldn't be scared that, oh, I need to hide. No, let's normalize mental health. Make mental health and mental well-being something normal in our society. Okay, are we understanding? Hello? Hello? Okay, that's number 5. Destigmatize mental health. Say it with me. Destigmatize. Okay, now say it with me. Destigmatize first. Destigmatize. Mental health. Okay, good. So I end my talk with 3 quotes. 3 quotes from a person who has undergone depression and mental illness. This person all of you know. Deepika Padukone. How many of you don't know Deepika Padukone? Raise your hand. Don't know Deepika. You do not know Deepika Padukone. Come on. Okay, someone needs to educate Brother Hussein here. Who's Deepika? Anyone? You say it? Yeah, Hassan. Sorry. I call you by your dad's name. Okay. Anyone? Who's Deepika? It's an easy question. I think. Do I really need a mic for this? Okay. Female Bollywood actress. Okay, Mr. Hassan, an actress. So she suffered from depression, and she has 3 quotes, and I feel we can learn from these 3 quotes. Number 1, being sad and being depressed are 2 different things. This is what she says. Also, people going through depression don't look so sad. Sometimes you see someone, but he's so happy, how is he depressed? She's so happy, she's so jovial, she's so cheerful. How is she going through depression? But no, someone hides behind their own sadness, their own anger, their own rage. Number 1. Number 2, second quote. I see people suffering and their families feel a sense of shame about it, which doesn't help. Sometimes, now this is for the parents. Parents, children go through problems. Oh, come on. Let's not talk about it. No, listen to their concerns. Take them and give them the help that they require. Take them to a psychologist, to a mental health counselor. So don't feel a sense of shame about it. If a child comes to you right now and says, Mom, I think I have a problem with my breathing, straight away, let's go to the hospital. Now, better. Come on. But if the child says, I'm undergoing depression, let's not talk about it. No, that's wrong. Number 3, and my final quote. I have fought my own battle with depression, and it was important for me to bring a little awareness about it to others. So if you have undergone a struggle and you feel that you want to share it, please do. We want to listen. Okay? And you never know, your experience might help someone. Now, my final question. 2 questions only and I end my talk. 2 questions. Who's going to win today? India or Pakistan? India. Yeah? Okay. Manchester United or Liverpool? Okay. Do I still have time for questions? To take questions from the floor? Okay. 3 minutes for question and answer. I'll take. Okay. Hassan?
So you said that if someone comes to you, for example.
Okay. I think we need to give him the mic.
Anyone else?
Okay.
So you said that if someone is going through mental health illnesses, and if someone comes to the parent, for example, and says, I have depression, the parent shouldn't just ignore it and actually go and take them to a counselor, right? Or first aid or whatever. But people say basically, for example, I talk about physical illness, so they say if you ignore your pain, it will go away. So why does that not happen for mental health illnesses? So you ignore it and it goes away.
Okay, good question. Okay, round of applause please for that question. So I'm repeating your question again so I make sure I got it right. What you're trying to say is that physical health, normally the pain goes away, but the pain doesn't go away for a mental illness. That's your question? Why doesn't pain go away for mental illness? Or, okay.
So basically, like, people say like, if you have like a physical pain, ignore it, you won't feel the pain then.
Okay.
Why can't you ignore mental health illnesses and why do you need to go visit someone? Why don't you just ignore it goes away?
Okay. So it's a good question. Now again, mental health is subjective. It's what? I know some people who have undergone depression and they haven't met anyone, but they have overcome depression by themselves. Okay? But here we are looking for quick remedies. I'll give you an example. You're playing football, okay? And you get hurt and blood starts coming out. There are 2 things you can do. Either let it go and it will eventually subside. You know that it will subside. Or you can treat it and remedy it straight away so that you're productive. Let's go. So 2 things you can do. You can either just let it go. It will take time for you to recover, or you may never recover, or sometimes the pain is much deeper. There's a cut that you face in football and you're like, okay, it's just a small cut. What if there are deeper wounds within that you are not aware? But when you meet someone who's a specialist, they can make you aware, they know this is what you're suffering from and I feel you can get support. Now us as mental health first aid counselors, what we do is, we don't treat you, but we take you to specialists. So if we feel you need requirement, we take you towards specialists. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Okay? Yes? Abbas?
So, about all the 5 things that you mentioned, let's say I have a friend who is facing mental health issues, right? Friend, family member, whoever. To sum it up, let's say the person perhaps is not being supported by the family to go to a counselor because there's a stigma and all of that. So what is my responsibility in this case, and what duties do I have towards that friend in regards to the mental health problems that he's facing? What am I supposed to do?
Okay, thank you. A very good question. So what if you have a parent who's not supporting their child while the child is suffering from a mental illness? Now as a friend, what should you do? Now it depends on the child, it depends on the person that you are friends with. If that friend is willing to go get help and you are aware that that person can come along with you, it's like saying today someone is going through a heart attack and you're like, wait, let's ask permission from your parents to go to the hospital and then we'll take you. So you can either take that child, let's say for example you're going for a dinner. So in a casual dinner you're like, okay, let's just go meet someone, I feel that person can help you. So you can do that, or you could go to the parents and tell the parents that, look, I know that you're scared, reputation, all this other nonsense. I know we care about all this, but look, your child's life is more important or your reputation, so-called reputation. So you need to raise awareness. Some parents don't do it on purpose. They just don't know about all these things. It's new for them. Again, as Ms. Karima said, these things have existed for a very long time. But that doesn't mean that people knew about them. Now we are aware. So now we need to raise awareness. But as I said, Tanzania is a different country. So the way people have raised awareness in the UK, US is different from here. So raise awareness. That's why I said, in general, we need to destigmatize mental health. Thankfully, you didn't ask me another statistic. Okay? I thought you were raising your hand and saying your time is up.
No. So, my question is, of course, if you see an elderly person or a lady going through mental challenges, you will have that feeling that everything confers on. But then if you're a male, okay, and you go up to someone and you tell them, look, I'm having this is the problems I'm facing. And the reply you get is, man, no, you're a man. What do we do in that case?
Okay, excellent question. So how many of you have heard this saying, man up? Like, don't be a crybaby, be a guy, come on, be a guy. Okay, first of all, there's nothing like be a man. What's be a man? Like, man up, what is this? So we do tell women up. It doesn't make any sense. So we need to, again, destigmatize this, that men can't cry. Okay, so tell that person that men have emotions. Men cry as well. You open, of course, since Ms. Karima has done so as well, I can do it as well. If you open any religious scripture as well, any prophet, any saint, you'll always see that they express their emotions. They share. So if they can do it and we're their followers, we can do so as well. We can express our emotions. So never shy away from expressing your emotions. Be expressive. If you feel like crying, cry. You feel like getting angry, to an extent, get angry, as long as you don't break things and you don't go overboard, but express yourself. You're sad, express yourself. Don't hide behind a curtain. Not a physical curtain, a spiritual, a mental curtain. So don't hide behind a curtain. Be yourself, express yourself. So we must remove the stigma that boys have to be boys, boys have to be boys. This stuff has to be annihilated, has to be eradicated. I'll take one last question from a female. I want a girl to ask me, because we're talking about mental health in an unequal world, and this is very unequal because only guys are asking. So I need one lady to ask me a question. No question. Like you all are perfect. No issues whatsoever. You understood? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Asante sana. Thank you. Thank you so much.